The walls are closing in on Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba, just like Democrats have sworn that the walls are closing in on Donald J. Trump for the last 8 years. They're literally, finally, actually, factually closing in on the leader of the Free the Land Mafia, Chokwe Antar Lumumba, as he has come out with his first statement officially denying that he's ever conspired with anyone to commit a crime. But before we get to that story real quick, guys, jump over to my website right now at buyfafo.com. Grab yourself the very shirt I'm wearing right now. It's the Mississippi Blackout Tag Edition t-shirt. You see what it says, Mississippi, FAFO, just like the mayor's about to become our next FAFO champ the second those indictments come down. Clay Edwards Show, where it was have the county. Get out, support a brother. We know we have a Clay County and an Edwards County here, so it just makes sense to have Clay Edwards Show down there where the county's at. Of course, we got hoodies, other shirts available as well. If you're new here, check out the hoodies real quick, and we'll jump straight to the story in 30 seconds or less. Here's the traditional G.I. Joe logo. It does come with the white drawstrings now. Here is the G.I. Joe logo shirt on a black shirt. Here it is on a gray shirt, both athletic fit, tri-blend t-shirts, high quality stuff. Here is the FAFO hoodie with the Blackout Tag Edition, and of course the Blackout Tag Edition t-shirt. We also have some extra large 2XL and 3XL pink ribbon FAFO shirts available, where $10 of the price will go to the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign to help eliminate breast cancer and help save the Tatas. I'm a fan of the Tatas. You a fan of the Tatas? Let's save the Tatas. Jump over to buyfafo.com today. All right, let's jump in to the story here from WLBT, and then we will actually play the full 3 minutes of the mayor himself talking about it. And y'all know that I'm going to interrupt this multiple times with my thoughts and opinions. Here we go with the great team over at WLBT, Courtney Ann Jackson and CJ LeMasters.
Jackson's mayor responding today to allegations in court documents that spell out his possible involvement in a bribery scandal that's already taken down one city councilwoman. Investigative reporter CJ LeMaster joins us now with new details on a case we've been following since the beginning. CJ?
Well, Courtney Ann, we've been unearthing new details of this case now for months, bits and pieces at a time. Today marks the first concrete statements that Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba has made since new court documents point to his possible role in this bribery scandal. And he says unequivocally that he didn't conspire with anybody. Now, the court documents unsealed last week paint a picture of a conspiracy that aimed to get a convention center hotel project in Jackson approved through bribes. One of those bribes, a $10,000 contribution to a re-election campaign fund belonging to a city official, so that official could then direct employees to push back a deadline.
That could only be Chokwe Antar Lumumba.
Now, state statute indicates the only elected official who can direct city employees
that guy right there. That's the guy. That's the only one.
Is the mayor. 3 on Your Side asked the city for Mayor Lumumba's campaign finance reports to see whether any such contribution was listed. The city told us he hasn't filed one in nearly 3 years.
Mayor, we did bring up the recent bill of information that was handed down. It mentions that there's an elected official who received a campaign donation to direct a city employee. Can you speak to that? Some people who can come out and say that it is you.
You know what I find funny is I'm surprised he didn't get Melissa Faith Payne to run out there and say, no comment, no comment. Why would he comment on that? The worst information director in all the cities around here. I'm staying on that. I'm coming after Melissa Faith Payne. She's done a terrible, terrible job.
Well, this is what I will say.
Whatever he's about to say right here is a lie. Whatever he's about to say, it's a damn lie.
The only thing that I'll say. To be clear, with respect to any allegations or speculation on that, I have never conspired with anyone to commit a crime. And that's the basis of it, and that's all that I will share. There may come a time and place where I will expound on that at an appropriate moment. But at this
point, look at his hair. Do they just draw? I mean, what is it? Was this done with an Etch-a-Sketch? What's going on here? What's in waves? Anyway, I digress. He looks guilty to me.
Point in time, then this is all. That's all I have to represent at this time.
That was WLBT's Anthony Warren asking that question. Now, we first told you in August that former Councilwoman Angelique Lee pleaded guilty to accepting bribes for her vote in that scandal. Then just last week, Hinds County businessman Sherik Marve Smith pleaded guilty to being a middleman to send those bribes to two unnamed Jackson City officials. Now, Mayor Lumumba said he met Smith a handful of times but would not go into more detail. He also would not admit to taking that campaign contribution, but did admit to failing to file those campaign finance reports. By the way, Mayor Lumumba is still running for re-election. Courtney Ann.
Well, let's hope that we can foil that re-election campaign that he's got going on. The mayor running for re-election. You know what he's hoping for, and what I'm hearing is that he's telling people the scuttlebutt is that Joe Biden is going to pardon him on his way out, regardless of who wins the election. It's Joe Biden's Department of Justice and Merrick Garland who are doing this. Why would they pardon him when they're the ones that started this? That does not make any sense. Also, this is not going to be anywhere near the point of being able to pardon on his way out unless he pleads guilty to something immediately, like his cohorts did. The scuttlebutt is that him and Jody Owens, sorry, thinking somebody else, him and Jody Owens were going to fight this to the very end. And I've also heard, take this for what it's worth, that the feds have not offered them any kind of plea, that they got them dead to rights with video, audio, and more, allegedly also including a big old boat party down in Miami, similar to the ab scam stuff. Think Donnie Brasco. Think American Hustle. So, well, I don't know. They may not be a plea deal on the table for these guys unless they just, offer them 10, 15 years in jail, something like that, I mean, they ain't going to be no light tiptoeing in your Jordans on this one. They ain't going to get no Angelique Lee deal on this. They ain't going to get no Marve Smith deal on this. They got to the courthouse first. These two and Banks, I think the last one that may get a deal would be Banks, if that's who it is. I don't know who else it could be. All signs point to Banks. If he's innocent, Banks, I apologize for mentioning your name, but it ain't looking good for you right now. So anyway, point being, you got till about January 19th to get it all wrapped up and to get your pardon. Because I can tell you, Big Donnie, he ain't pardoning your ass. Nor should he. I would throw eggs at Big Don if he pardons you. Let's listen to the full 3 minutes of Chokwe spewing some lies to close out this morning's video here. This was at the city council meeting, not taken out of context. This is the full 2.5, almost 3 minutes of the mayor explaining his side of the story, so to say. Let me pull the video up. I do apologize. She already had that done. Here we go. This is on WLBT's YouTube channel here.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I will say, and this is the only thing that I'll say. To be clear, with respect to any allegations or speculation on that, I have never conspired with anyone to commit a crime. And that's the basis of it, and that's all that I will share. There may come a time and place where I will expound on that at an appropriate moment. But at this point in time, then this is that's all I have to represent at this time.
Did you take a $10,000 check for your re-election committee from individuals who purported to be real estate developers from Nashville?
I'm going to leave my response at what I just said. Yes, sir.
But you didn't answer the question about, you didn't even answer the first question about.
I answered the question.
The person identified as unindicted co-conspirators.
What I will say.
I mean, this is the first time in 7 years this local media has actually started to take him to task a little bit. He has ruled with such an iron fist. He's ruled with such an iron fist that they were all scared to death to start calling him out. Now they smell a little blood in the water, and they are finally starting to give him a little pushback. I've been doing this since day one. Now, I ain't got time to be going to City Hall. I don't handle well being lied to my face. I'd have been done struck the dude. I take being lied to very personally. Like, to me, it's just the greatest disrespect you can do to somebody is look them in the eye and lie, because that means you think I'm stupid enough to believe whatever you're saying. And I don't take being called stupid lightly.
Say is, with respect to those questions, I would direct you to those that are actually engaging in the investigation. They're best positioned to answer that question. With respect to any question about that, I have never conspired with anyone to commit a crime.
I can't wait to clip that out later. I've done marked the date. I've saved it. And when and if a guilty plea comes down, I'm going to replay that. It's going to be a new highlight. I've already got the button over here programmed where I can add sound effects to this show. I have never conspired. I mean, that's going to go right up there with Bill Clinton saying, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Period. Yes, sir.
Period.
You would have to ask those who are conducting that investigation. Yes, sir. What's your question?
Do you know, or are you associated with Sherik Marve Smith, who pled guilty last week?
He was just asked, I don't know if y'all can hear it, if he was associated or if he knows Sherik Marve Smith, the most recent newly convicted felon in this cold conspiracy to commit bribery case.
I have met him a couple of times. I don't know what associated means, but once again, I would direct anyone to those who are hosting that particular investigation. I have never conspired with him or anybody else to commit a crime.
And why do you think the FBI is so interested in the city of Jackson?
Once again, I think that's a good question, but I would direct that to those that are hosting the investigation. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, have you or a PAC associated with you filed any campaign finance reports with the city of Jackson since 2022?
I have not filed my campaign finance report. I believe you, or maybe you, Anthony, had asked me that prior. I have not filed my campaign finance report, which unfortunately is not uncustomary for my campaign.
Mr. Mayor, you say you have not conspired with anyone, but that does not, you're not denying that you received a $10,000 check or check from, again, these individuals reporting to be real estate developers.
Ross, let me put it this way. As a former criminal defense attorney, as someone who has represented many people, I take the advice of my counsel very seriously. It doesn't matter how many questions or the variation of the question, my response is going to be the same. And that is quite simply that I have never conspired with anyone to commit a crime.
Bullshit. All right, guys, tune in to the Clay Edwards Show. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., wherever you're watching this video right now. The show streams live there, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, X, and of course, Rumble. If you're in your car, if for some reason none of those work, you don't have your phone with you, the old-fashioned FM radio dial all throughout central Mississippi, 103.9 FM, WYAB, a.k.a. the mothership, the home of reality radio, the home of the most incendiary show on the FM dial and online, the Clay Edwards Show, the Kim Wade Show, the Jameson Haygood Show, and more. Check us out daily. The live itinerary starts at 6 a.m. and goes all the way to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Peace out. See ya on the radio or right back here on the Save Jackson social media platform.